There's that Paiute's horse. They're gonna be letting him out of jail any time now. Some of you and the rest of that bunch can keep that deputy busy. I'll put this little surprise under that Indian saddle blanket.
Deputy.
Yeah?
Boys. When's that Paiute coming out?
Well, what's it to you?
We got a little business with him.
Look, man, we don't want any trouble. Get on out of here, will you? You two, get out of here. Come on.
You just bring that Paiute out.
And you, get away from that horse. Come on.
That Paiute don't need no horse. We'll ride him out in a rail.
Yeah, with some tar and feathers to keep him warm.
That's right, ain't it, boys?
Simmer down.
We're not leaving till he comes out.
Always a good day when you pay your taxes, Ben. Get Story County out of the red.
What's all that noise about out there, anyhow?
Well, nothing we can't handle. A friend of yours getting out of jail here in a little bit. A bunch of the town loafers getting together to greet him.
Friend of ours? Who is it?
Long Bear.
Oh. What did he do this time?
Well, he stole 2 corsets. And That's right. He stole 2 corsets, swapped them for whiskey, and went on a window busting spree.
I know the old guy had that much energy.
All right, Long Bear. 2 corsets. Time's up. You can get out of here now.
Mr. Ponderosa.
Hello, Long Bear.
Big Ponderosa.
How are you, Long Bear?
Where little Ponderosa?
Oh, he's up the street.
Good jail. Good grub. Long Bear, fine.
Thank you, Long Bear.
See you, Clem.
So long, Ben.
Come on, Long Bear. You better get mounted.
Yeah, you better mount up and get out of this town and don't ever come back here. Get away from me, you dirty Paiute.
That's enough handshaking, Long Bear. Come on,
Yeah.
Long Bear.
Yeah.
We don't want your kind around here anymore.
You all right, Long Bear?
Fine.
What made him buck like that, anyhow?
Don't know.
You think somebody could have put this burr under his saddle?
Somebody sure enough could have.
This isn't my idea of fun. I'll give you 1 minute to get out of here and get locked up.
All right. But you tell that Paiute to leave my kid alone, or next time I'll shoot him.
Well, he didn't hurt your boy. All he did was shake his hand. He likes to shake hands. Is there any harm in that?
He's an Indian, and I don't like Indians. Neither does the rest of this town. Well, except for the Indian lovers here.
Oh, come on, Aaron.
Look, don't give me orders, Mr. Ponderosa. Oh, I know I'm only your poor neighbor, but don't push me.
I'll push you, buddy, real good.
Horse, stage just came in. Let's meet it. Long Bear, mount up.
All right, come on. Move out. Get out of here.
Hey, did you see that horse buck?
Hey, Joe, Candy. Go, stage is here. Ah, Mr. Holt?
Yes, sir.
Will Holt?
Yes, sir.
I'm Ben Cartwright. You've got to be our new bronc buster. It's my son's horse.
Hi, Will, how are you?
Little Joe.
Pleasure to meet you, Will.
Candy, one of our top hands here.
Will.
How do you do?
I hope you brought a wagon. I got a couple saddles and a mess of gear.
Yeah, we got one right down there. Candy will take you and your gear.
I brung something else. My bride.
Well.
Miss Holt, step down here and meet my new boss.
Miss Holt, how do you do?
That's Bridger. He's Aaron Gore's boy. They have a homestead down by the creek. He likes to play around here a lot.
Well, here's your new home, Moon. How do you like it?
Oh, it is fine.
Excuse me, did you call her Moon?
Well, if you had a wife and her name was Moon Rising Red over big white top stony mountain, what would you call it?
Moon.
That's what I decided.
I know you're anxious to see the inside of the place. Come on. It ain't exactly a mansion, but you can fix it up. It'll be real nice.
Oh, I will fix it. We will be happy here.
The best thing about it, it's on the Ponderosa. There's no rent.
Hey, look at you. That kid's been playing checkers with a dummy. Why would he do that?
He is lonesome.
Well, how do you figure, Moon?
Only a child without a friend would paint one on a piece of wood.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Hey, that's real good you figuring that out.
I will bring in our things.
Oh, come on. I'll do that.
Hey, boy, come here. It's about time you got back here. That wood box near empty. What's the matter with you? Where you been?
Just playing.
Been up that Ponderosa shack again, ain't you? What'd they do, catch you and run you off?
They took a shot at me.
Who did?
I ain't sure. There's 3 of them in a wagon. Candy and a cowboy and an Indian woman.
A young squaw? Are they moving into that shack?
I don't know.
Well, I'll find out for my own self. You keep an eye on the steel. When that jug fills up, move it, put another one under it. Keep the fire going.
It is nice, but you do not have to.
What happens to like the work?
I hope that always will be true.
That always will be true. And I'm gonna get a lot better when I get some practice.
Please. Practice a lot.
Well, Hoss, I knew we had a bronc buster. Didn't know we had ourselves a blacksmith, too.
Well, I'm a long way from the best, but I fixed a few of them up. I finished gentling that black about noon. I figured I ought to find something useful to do.
That cut's almost healed, but the way he throws that right front hoof, he'll cut that leg again the first 100 yards he runs.
Well, that's what this is for. I think maybe we can correct that. See, I've got a little extra weight on the outside of the shoe, and maybe he'll tend to throw it straighter and won't brush that other leg.
Yeah, that might do it.
You know, it's been done before, but it takes quite a bit of blacksmithing.
Well, we'll know a lot more about it after he's worn it for a while. Mr. Cartwright, I know I just come on your payroll, but we need some supplies. I sure would appreciate a little advance if I could get it.
Oh, sure. How much do you need?
$20?
Oh, of course. Well, you didn't have to wait until now to ask for it.
I figured I ought to earn it first. Oh, one other thing. Could we borrow your buckboard?
Of course you can. Why don't you help yourself to some of our supplies? Save your trip.
Well, Moon needs some new pots and stuff. New water bucket. I think we may as well go on into town.
Will, why don't you, Hoss is going out of town today. Why don't you go along with him?
Yeah, Will, I'm going in. You and Moon right in with me.
Mr. Cartwright, if you're worried about me taking my Indian wife to town, don't. I can handle it.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about her.
Well, we went all through that before we got married. But I do appreciate you thinking about her. And we would enjoy the company, Hoss.
I'll get your money.
Do you like it? I made it for you.
How could you? You've never seen me before.
Every day for more than a week, you have watched me from behind those bushes. Like an enemy. I want you to be my friend.
But you're an Indian.
Indians need friends, too. Sit down. Play with it.
You made this by yourself?
Yes,
That's real good for a female. How'd you do it?
with a knife.
How'd you fasten on the paddles?
With pitch from a pine tree.
Oh, where'd you find it?
Down the creek, near where you live with your father.
He ain't my father. He's my stepfather. How'd you know where I live?
I tracked you.
You did?
Yes. What is your name?
He wants me to tell people it's gore like his, but it ain't. It's Green. Bridger Green.
Bridger Green.
What's yours?
My friends call me Moon.
Who gave you a local name like that?
My mother. The moon was the first thing she saw after I was born.
What was her name?
Running Deer. What is your mother's name, Bridger?
I ain't got no mother. She died when I was little. Can I keep this home?
Yes, I made it for you.
Could you learn me to follow tracks?
It will take much time.
I got lots of time. I sneak out on him every day.
You do not like your stepfather?
He tends me all the time.
He whips you?
Yeah, but wait till I'm 12 and can earn a living. Then I'll slope out of there so fast you won't know what for.
It is my husband, and Hoss Cartwright. Come, say hello.
No!
Come on, honey, we're going to town.
Hey, tell them about the cows,
Oh,
Aaron.
you won't believe this. The first day Ben Cartwright moved him in up there, and my kid comes home, says they's taking a bath in the creek. You know what? My cows wouldn't drink that creek water for 2 whole days. Yeah, not till the Indian dirt washed out of it.
Hey, you know, Aaron, I thought the sheriff was supposed to run all the Indians out of town.
Oh, well, she's a special tribe. She's a Ponderosa Indian. Ain't that right, Hoss?
That's right, Aaron. She lives on the Ponderosa and her husband works there.
Her husband? No, you mean her squaw man, don't you?
I wouldn't call him that if I were you.
And what if I do?
You got all the stuff you need?
Just need some groceries, Saul.
Fine. There's a place right down the street, and I'll be right with you.
Hey, Squaw Man!
I told you not to call him that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did, didn't you? Squaw Man! Squaw Man!
Let's go.
Come, Will, please.
Just a minute, honey. These JoJo's got a few wrong ideas about our marriage. I'm just gonna set them straight. Now, my wife's father is a Hunk Papa Sioux chief. And her grandpa was a Sioux chief before him, and her great-grandpa a chief before him. And my great-grandpa was a captain under George Washington. So you might just say this here's a union of two old, established American families. Now, anybody got anything else they want to say?
What's going on, Hoss?
Pete, we just had to teach these yahoos some manners. Pete, meet Will Holt and his wife. He's our new bronc buster. Will, this is Pete Stevens.
Sheriff.
Pleased to meet you.
Come on, Will, let's go.
Can't you stay out of trouble?
Those dirty, filthy Indians. You let one of them move in here, and pretty soon, you know, they're so thick there ain't room for decent folks.
They're decent and law-abiding, and we've got just as much right to be here as you have. Now, if you think you're going to make trouble for them, forget it.
Forget it. That's all they're gonna do about it. Forget it. We want something done around here, boys. There ain't no point in asking Indian lovers to do it. No, we're gonna have to do it ourselves.
Got some nice fresh hot coffee here, Pa. Can I pour you some? Well, you know, it's really horrible about that grizzly bear getting those 40 steer up there in the canyon, ripping our heads off and...
Yeah, terrible. And lightning striking the city hall, burning plumb to the ground. Paul, what's the matter? Paul?
What?
You just seem to be troubled about something. What's the matter?
Didn't have any dinner, no coffee. What's wrong?
I'm off my feed.
Paul? What happened down yesterday, anyhow?
I like Virginia City. I like this town. I'm proud of it. Yesterday, I ride into town. A bunch of fellas there wave a howdy. They just turn away. I go into the Silver Dollar. Everybody suddenly stops talking. So I asked Clem about it. He says it's Will Holt and his wife.
The Holts?
Yeah. Ann Gore is spreading lies about him, stirring everybody up. And now everybody's blaming me for bringing a Sioux Indian to the Ponderosa.
Don't let that bother you, Pa. That's the riffraff. It's not the decent people.
I know it's the riffraff, but Clem thinks it's serious about the Holts. He says I ought to get rid of them.
Well, what'd you tell him? Never mind. I'm sorry I asked that.
I can understand Aaron Gore and his kind. There's something more than meets the eye here. And what meets the eye is sure bad enough.
Put your hands over your eyes. Keep them shut tight.
I will.
Tight. Track me.
That's how you went.
Is that all you saw?
I didn't do so good, huh? I guess I better go.
Pritchard, I told you it would take much time and hard work. Now, try it again. Use your eyes and think.
You gotta cook supper.
No. Will went up to the West Fork to look at some horses for Mr. Cartwright. He will be gone many hours.
You think I can?
I'm sure you can. Will you now show me?
One for Prince Steeper.
Why?
I don't know.
Think.
He was carrying something heavy in one hand.
Which hand?
Right hand. He picked up a log of wood.
Good. Go on.
Now the left one's deeper.
Why?
'Cause it changed hands. You moved the log from your right hand to your left.
Good. Go on.
Now they're both the same.
Why?
You put the log down and get on the pile.
Good.
From here, Ryan, they're even. 'Cause you wasn't carrying nothing.
Oh, good. Now you're starting to track like a real Sioux boy.
You know why I done better today?
Yeah, because you used your head.
That ain't the only reason. I'm carrying an Indian charm.
Where did you get it?
Home. Indian, ain't it?
Yes. Ogallala Sioux, a good luck charm. How did it happen to be in your house?
Just there in a box. Here's for you.
Richard, I cannot accept this.
You gave me the water wheel. You taught me to track. You keep it.
There's one thing you can do, Aaron. You can sell out.
Find me out now with a squaw living next to me.
Yeah. The more I will it around, the more I think you're right. We ought to run her out.
Who's we?
Well, you and me. Jonas Armstrong's pa was scalped by a Sioux. And there's plenty of people around here who hate Indians. Why, they'd be glad to help you get rid of them.
You might have an idea there, Muley.
Angola? Aaron?
What do you want?
Well, I want to talk to you.
It's all right. He's a friend of mine. Go ahead and talk.
I came to give you some advice, Aaron. You'd be smart to take it.
Now, look, this place ain't as big as the Ponderosa, but it's mine. While I'm on it, I don't aim to be elbowed, not by you nor anybody else.
I'm not elbowing you, Aaron. I don't see you from one year to the next.
Yeah, but when you do, you look at me like I was a wet dog or a dirty Paiute.
I don't look at you in any one particular way or another. If you think I do, maybe it's because you're looking for it. You can make a good living here. Look at this place. Rusty tools, your corn isn't hoed, your roof's caving in.
What, you come here to give me a Sunday school lecture? Because if you did, I ain't got time to listen to it. I got work to do.
All right. I'll skip the lecture.
Well, I'm purely obliged, Mr. Cartwright. Now, Muley and me can get on with what we was doing before you butted in.
Not just yet. Came here to talk to you about something. About my bronc buster, Will Holt, and his wife.
What about him?
You've been doing some talking in town and telling lies, stirring up trouble. I want you to put a stop to it, all of it.
Well, yeah, I'll put a stop to it.
As soon as you run him out of here, Indian lover.
You just watch yourself, Aaron. You stop putting names to things. The man's a good man. I don't care if he's red, white, blue, or purple. Will Holt's a good man.
Yeah, he's some man. What kind of man is it marries an Indian?
What have you got against Indians?
I don't associate with them. I don't let my kid associate with them, and I don't want one of them for a neighbor.
Why?
Because they're dirt, that's why.
Those are your thoughts. Fine. But you keep your thoughts to yourself. And keep away from Mrs. Holt. If you mistreat her in any way, even peep at her again from behind those trees over there, you'll answer to me. Is that clear?
I ain't gonna mistreat her. But remember, I'm not the only one that wants her out of here. I'm not responsible for what somebody else does.
Now, don't let any harm come to her.
And what are you so grinny about?
That Ben Cartwright sure got you buffaloed, ain't he?
Well, that's a dirty lie. I talked right up to him. You heard me.
Sure. Any dog barks big in his own yard. And I noticed you bark twice as big when he's out of sight, except when he's standing right here in front of you.
Ben Cartwright don't scare me none at all. He sure ain't gonna order me around.
Well, unless my hearing's going bad. He just did. And that Indian girl. You been sneaking around watching her like Cartwright said?
I had to see what she was doing up there, didn't I?
What was she doing?
Nothing, nothing. I've been looking for you. Come on in here. Leave me alone with this boy. Now, where'd you get this? You sure never made it, but I found it hid under your bed along with my hatchet. Now, where'd you get it?
I stole it.
Where?
Up the creek.
Well, that squaw made it, huh? I knowed it was Indian work. What was you doing up there?
Just looking around, like you do.
Don't get impudent with me. What I do ain't got nothing to do with you, boy. Now, I want to know, you been talking to her? Now, speak up, boy, or I'll rawhide you ragged. You been talking to her?
Yes.
And what about that no-good squaw man of hers? You been talking to him, too?
No, I ain't never seen him but once.
Well, you're lying to me, boy. You seen him. Comes home to eat, don't he? You been eating up there, too, ain't you?
No, Aaron. Will ain't home. He's up at West Fork looking at some horses.
West Fork. Will, huh? You ain't never seen him, but you know his name. What about her? You know her name, too?
Her name's Moon. She made the water wheel for me, and she's learning me to read sign. And she don't smell bad like you said. She smells good.
She stinks. So does this. Now, wait a minute, boy. I'm through with you. Now, you've been rooting around in my stuff, ain't you? You've been stealing from me.
I didn't mean no harm.
You took that charm of mine, didn't you? Now, what'd you do with it?
I lost it.
Oh, boy, you're lying to me. Now, where is it?
I gave it to Moon.
That squaw, you gave it to her?
Yes, 'cause she gave me the water wheel.
What'd she say? Come on, boy, answer.
She said it was a Sioux good luck charm.
Your good luck just run out, boy. Ain't no good to run now. Get out of hand, there ain't nothing you can do but tell him.
But I heard you must have done a job.
Well, you tell a kid, you gotta let him know you mean it, right?
That's the only way to handle it. Whale them if they get out of line. You handle it just right, Aaron.
I sure did. You know, Muley, I just decided I had enough of Ben Cartwright telling me what I can and what I can't do. We can get Jonas to ride with us. I'm gonna run that Indian and her squaw man clean out of the country.
Well, Jonas will go. But when? When are you going to do all this?
Tonight. As soon as it gets dark enough.
Bridger. Oh, what are you doing here?
Just going by.
After dark, you should be home. What is wrong?
Nothing's wrong. Come over so you won't be alone.
Thank you.
Ouch!
Oh, Bridger, I hurt you. I am sorry.
It's nothing.
Is it your back? Let me see. The skin is broken. Oh, Bridger, did he whip you? With what?
His belt.
Where is he now?
Home. There's some in there drinking. I ran away and I ain't going back.
Bridger, can you walk as far as the Ponderosa?
What for?
I want Mr. Cartwright to see this. You do not have to stay with that man any longer. Can you walk that far?
If you go with me.
I will go with you. Now.
Hey, squad, come on out. You dirty Indian. Come on out there, we won't talk to you.
Bridger, out the back door, quick. Run to the Ponderosa, hurry.
What's coming to you? All right, boys, come on, let's tie up. This'll come in handy. There she goes! Now, don't shoot! Leave her to me. You take care of the cow. Raise a gun to me, squaw. Now you're gonna pay for that.
You are Bridger's stepfather. You are Aaron Gore.
Well, you know me, huh? Well, you're gonna pay for that, too. When I get through, you're gonna be glad to ride out of here, you and your squaw man. You teach my kid to steal. To steal from me and give to you. Now, this is mine, and you're wearing it.
Take it. I do not want anything of yours.
You run when you had the chance, squaw.
Oh, please. Oh, let me go.
Tana, Yanafu. Let me go. Don't hurt me. Well, I'll hurt you. And when I let you go, you won't stop running till you hit California. Monka! Wamdiska!
Speak Sioux. No white man would know that word. You are Sioux.
No! My mother was. Dirty, stinking Sioux. I spent 20 years of my life trying to get away from being called a half-breed. And I ain't gonna do it anymore. It's too bad you had to find out about that. Just too bad. Because you ain't gonna live long enough to tell anybody.
Came from over there. Let's go.
she goes.
Forget her.
She shot me.
We gotta get him to a doctor. Take his feet.
Kind of a wasted trip, Joe. And only a couple of horses worth messing with.
That way you never know unless you take a look-see.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'll see you in the morning.
Right.
Will? 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 Will, I shot him.
Shot who?
I shot Aaron Gore. He tried to kill me.
Get in the house.
Put her on the sofa.
I shot him.
It's all right.
Sit down.
I shot him.
It's all right.
I'll get some brandy.
Easy now, easy. Easy.
All right now.
Joe, what happened?
Moon said you just shot Aaron Gore.
Hurry up, House.
You're all right now. Moon, it's all right. It's all right.
Now, you just take some of this now. Just a little. That's it. How did it happen?
Where's Bridger? I sent him here when the riders came.
Well, Bridger isn't here yet, Moon. What riders? How many were there?
I saw 3. One of them was Aaron Gore. I ran and he caught me. We fought for his gun. I shot him.
Did you kill him?
I do not know.
Why would he come after you, honey?
I found out about him. He's a half-breed. His mother was a Sioux.
So that's it. Where did you leave him?
By our cabin down by the creek.
Take some men. Find him. If he's still alive, take him back to town. And find that boy. He may be in danger.
It's all right now, Moon.
Have some of this now. Just calm. Take it easy.
Yes, okay, I'll tell you what happened. The squaw shot Aaron. He said she did.
He ain't made a sound or a move since he told us she shot him. And he used his last breath to tell us who did it. Well, come daylight, we got us a rope job to do.
Well, we drew a blank. No sign of Aaron or the boy.
That cabin's a wreck. I'm surprised they didn't burn it. Found this down by the creek.
It is Aaron Gore's. He dropped it. Did you not see Bridger?
No, ma'am.
Oh, where can he be? I sent him here last night. He knows the way. We must find him.
Moon, we'll find him.
Mr. Carver. I didn't know she was here.
It's all right, Candy. What is it?
There's a lynch mob on their way out here. They spent last night working up a hate. I made sure they were on their way, and I rode out ahead of them.
Lynch mob?
It's all right.
According to them, you shot him in the back, Moon.
In the back? No, that is not true. We were facing each other. We were struggling for the gun. It went off.
If that's the way she says it was, that's the way it was.
Well, I believe you. But that mob doesn't care who shot him or where.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna stop a few of them, too.
Calm down, Will. You stay here with your wife.
Hey, Cartwright! We know she's in there, Cartwright. Bring up that squad.
You came here because you think that Mrs. Holt shot Aaron Gore in the back, and you want to lynch her.
That's right, and we're going to string her up, too.
Well, there isn't going to be any lynching here on the Ponderosa. Mrs. Holt says that she shot Aaron in self-defense.
Ah, no. We know different.
You say different. Well, we're going to have to let the law decide that.
We ain't waiting for no law.
All right, gentlemen. Just turn your horses around nice and easy and ride on back where you came from.
Hey, boy, you belong with us, not with those folks that are hiding that squaw that killed Aaron.
Aaron ain't dead. Doctor told me he's bad hurt, but ain't gonna die.
The kid's lying.
Moon didn't shoot him, I did. Aaron threw down Moon's rifle. She ran away and he chased her. I picked up the rifle and shot him.
I heard Aaron say she shot me. Besides, why would a kid want to shoot his own pa? There she is.
I will show you why.
Let's get out of here.
Hold on. Just wait a minute. Bridger, who were the two men that were with Aaron?
Them two. Muley and Jonas. They're the ones that broke up the cabin.
Muley, Jonas, you stay close to town. I'll be there tomorrow to swear out a warrant for your arrest.
Here's another blanket.
Oh, well. That ought to help get things started again.
Oh, thank you, Alice.
You are very generous.
That's the least we could do. Any news, Bob?
Well, yeah, away. Gotta talk to Bridger here. Young fella, get right up here. Now, Bridger, you're a pretty big young fella. And I'm gonna talk to you like you were a grown-up man, all right?
All right.
I've been spending a little time with your stepfather. He's gonna be all right. He feels kind of badly about the way things have turned out here. And Bridger, he'd like to go off someplace by himself and start all over again. So the court has appointed an executor to... Well, an executor is a man who looks after the things that you're not able to look after till you're 21. And that homestead that you've been living at, that place is yours now.
Live there by myself? I ain't much of a cook.
Well, the judge has thought of that, too. And he says, if you've a mind to, that you can adopt some new parents who can live there with you.
I can?
Yeah? Now, Bridger, Can you think of a young married couple that you'd like to have as your new mom, Pa?
Yes, sir. I sure can.
Well, now, Moon and Will Holt, do you accept young Bridger as your newly adopted son?
Well, I sure do if Moon does.
I accept.
Fine. Bridger, do you accept Moon and Will Holt as your new mom, Pa?
I sure do.
I think that settled it, don't it?
Well, not quite. See, the executor has to give his approval.
Who's the executor?
I am.
Well, that's 10 of them. 10 dead calves.
Yeah, 10 that we've seen. How many are we going to find in the brush?
Cow doesn't look so bad now, but 3 or 4 days from now, without any salt, their bones will be sticking out.
It really hurts me is to see those poor dumb brutes chewing away at bark and leaves and dirt just to find salt that isn't there.
What happened to Bob Rio, anyhow? He should have delivered that load of salt a month ago.
Well, we can't keep waiting for Bob to deliver it. We'll have to just go and get some. We need it in a hurry, or else we're going to lose most of our herd.
The dead calf just over the hill. There'll be a lot more if we don't get salt in a hurry.
3 days of Spanish wells, 3 days back. Better get started.
Shaler, come on out.
We're tired of waiting, Shayla. We got cattle falling. We want salt, not promises. We want it now.
You'll get your salt when all the ranches are represented so it can be divided fairly, not before. Now clear the street. Now that's just a warning. The next one's gonna cut flesh. Clear the street!
Ed? Ed? You know, Mr. Witness, yeah.
Sure could have used you just now.
What's going on?
You've known Sheriff Vern Shaler for quite a spell, haven't you?
Sure.
He's shaming us, Ben. He's standing us off with the shotgun when we gotta have salt.
What's Vern Shaler got to do with it? This all belongs to Bob Rio, doesn't it?
Rio's dead.
Rio's dead?
So's the salt bed. Played out altogether. His niece is sitting on what's left of the salt over in that warehouse right now. But she ain't selling. Your friend Shaler's upholding her.
Well, he's gotta have some reason, doesn't he?
The petticoat's his reason. Shaler's courting her, so he's backing her play.
There's one other thing, Ben. We're all gonna lose our herds unless we get salt pronto.
Sure.
And the salt in that warehouse ain't half enough to go around. Let's go.
I'm Ada Halley. May I help you?
Ben Cartwright, Miss Hallie. I'm here to buy...
Here to buy salt, of course. Mr. Cartwright. Oh, yes, the Ponderosa. You've been a very good customer in the past.
I was very sorry to hear about Bob Rio. We were old friends.
Oh, thank you. As it happens, I hardly knew him. I suppose you've heard that the salt bed is exhausted. The only available salt is this here in the warehouse.
Yes, I was told.
Yeah, if you'll sign that order, you can buy up to 60% of the amount you purchased last year.
We're ready to load and pull out right now, so you just tell me how much I owe you.
Oh, now, just a minute, Mr. Cartwright. There are others ahead of you. You'll have to wait your turn.
Oh, ma'am, we were 3 days getting here, and we'll be 3 days getting back. My cattle need the salt now. We've no time to waste.
I'm sorry. You'll have to wait your turn.
Miss Hallie, have you ever seen cattle die for want of salt? Not one or two at a time, but in bunches of 20 or 30?
I've been spared that experience.
We were losing calves when we left the Ponderosa, ma'am. If we don't get that salt there immediately, I can lose my whole herd.
You've no idea how many times I've been told that lately.
Right now, while we're talking here and arguing, I'm losing maybe 20 or 30...
Trouble, Miss Hallie?
No trouble. I was just telling Mr. Cartwright, I only own the salt. The business details are all handled by Sheriff Vern Shaler. You know him, of course.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Ben Cartwright. Well, it's good to see you.
Vern?
Sit down, sit down. Well, this calls for a drink. Maybe something a little stronger than this coffee. I got a little brandy here.
I came to talk about salt, Ben.
This is your kind of brandy, Ben. In fact, it's the first time I ever tasted this was out at the Ponderosa.
Vern, I came to talk about salt.
You and a lot of people. This is the worst drought I ever saw, Ben. No spring grass. And Rio's scraper hits bottom and no salt.
Miss Hallie tells me that you're in charge of the financial details.
Yeah, just before you got here, some of the ranchers were trying to take me apart. I had to run them off.
Yes, I understand. With a shotgun.
Well, as you can see, that's no job for a lady. She needed help, so I volunteered. When all that salt's gone out of the warehouse, Ben, there's no more, maybe for 400 miles.
Closer to 500.
Yeah. And the cattle bawling all the way from here to Big Spring. The salt in the warehouse is only 60% of what you cattlemen are used to buying for the year. So naturally, when I heard that, why, I told Ada we're going to have a problem. Now, somebody make sure that all you buyers get a fair share. That's why I took the job.
Now, look, Vern, you know how much each one of us is supposed to get. Sell it to us and let us go home.
I'd like to do that, Ben, but it's not my salt, it's Ada's. And she's got the right to say. And she wants all you buyers here so that nobody can squabble over the deal.
Even if the cattle die while we're waiting?
But she doesn't know anything about that. She's from the city.
Well, you're from here. Why don't you tell her?
Look, Ben, you'll be on your way home by tomorrow. You're the last buyer to show, except this Sid Talbot from the C-Bar T Ranch. And we just got word he'll be here in a few hours. Well, that ought to make you feel better.
She wants all the buyers here. And salt's in short supply. Now, how much is that salt going to cost?
Well, a little more than last year. But you can understand that, Ben, with the salt beds scraped clean and...
How much more?
I don't know exactly. We talked about price, but we didn't exactly nail it down. Well, she's not going to hold you buyers up, Ben. Now, she's a good woman. She's as fine as they come.
Well, I'm sure she is, Vern. You might just tell that fine woman that wars have been started on account of salt. If she's not careful, she just may start one here. Well, we still have a couple of hours to wait.
A couple of hours? We ain't got but minutes.
I know. I've said that till it's coming out of my ears. We still have to wait.
Ben, we're having a meeting. You've been talking to Shayla. We'd like to know what he had to say.
I can tell you one thing. When the big ones start bidding for that salt, there ain't going to be any left for the rest of us.
Oh, Mr. Cartwright.
What am I? I just left Shayla. The salt sale will begin just as soon as Sid Talbot gets here.
First, we wait for Carter. Now Talbot. Big money man. Either one of them can buy all the rest of us.
Sonny, if you don't simmer down that mouth of yours, it's going to get you in trouble.
It's all right.
When's Talbot getting in?
He's here now. Well, Mourner's Corner. Well, gentlemen, why the long faces?
Yeah.
Cattle dying and no salt, that's why.
I'm glad you're here. Have you seen Shayla yet?
Not yet. I figured to talk to him tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning?
I think you ought to go see him right now. Shayla held up the sale of the salt until you got here, and we've all been waiting, and everybody's ready to load up and move out.
All the salt beds are cleaned out, and the stock's way down in the warehouse. How is this going to be divided up?
Well, everybody's going to get 60% of what they got last year.
Your idea, Cartwright?
No, Shayla's idea. He figured it out with Miss Allie.
The lady who owns the salt. 60% seems fair enough for those who stood still, those who sold some of the cattle. That's more than enough. Well, gentlemen, you see, my herd has increased by 1,200 head. And 60% of the salt I bought last year won't nearly be enough.
1,200 head? It's more than twice what he was running last year.
Sit down now.
But he hasn't been in town in 10
Shut
minutes.
up.
He's already trying to steal
No point
it.
in arguing and fighting and bickering now. Let's try to figure out a way to work this out.
Difference between you and me, Cartwright, is you want to see everybody gets their share. Me, I'm only interested in mine.
He'll steal it. One way or another, he'll grab our shares.
No, he won't. Shayla won't let him. Shayla said he'd make sure that salt was divided fair. Didn't he, Ben?
Yeah, that's what he said.
You're the last buyer to arrive.
60%'s the figure I've heard mentioned.
Yes. That's the way Vern and I worked it out. It seemed fairest for everybody.
I'm sure it is. Bob Rio had a good business here. It's too bad you inherited empty salt beds. Miss Hallie, I don't mean to be personal. I don't mean to pry, but I wonder about people. Can you tell me what you did before you came here?
I taught school, kept books in a bank. If you'll just sign the order.
Bookkeeper. I'll bet you did twice the work the men did and got half the pay.
Less than half. If you'll sign, please.
Of course. Vern's known these cattlemen a long time. Their personal friends are his, so I can understand his concern about them. But you, Miss Hallie, you're new here. You've had to work for a living. You know it's a dog-eat-dog world. I'm surprised you haven't looked out for yourself, your future.
I have, Mr. Talbot.
Not in the way I mean. My herd's increased in size, and I'm going to need more than 60% of last year's buy.
I'm sure you are, Mr. Talbot. Every cattleman has told me the same thing.
I pay for what I want, Miss Hallie. I pay very well.
Everything all right, Miss Ada?
Everything is just fine.
My herd's bigger, so I'm going to need a bigger share. And I'm willing to pay a lot more.
Oh, I was just coming over to see you.
That's nice. Anything special?
Well, I don't think we should wait for Talbot any longer. Better get over to the warehouse and sell those men that salt.
Mr. Talbot is here. I've just been talking to him.
Well, that's good news. I'll go over and tell the men to load the wagon.
Vern, we haven't settled the price yet.
Well, it's your salt, Ada. But I know you're not going to gouge the men just because they're losing their herds.
Our salt, Vern. I thought you never would.
It wasn't because I didn't want to.
Do it again.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, Ben. Come on in. I want you to be the first to know. Ada and I are going to get married.
Well, isn't that something? Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Best wishes.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright.
How about a little drink to the wedding?
Well, I think that's very much in order. Yes, certainly. Have you set a date yet?
Just as soon as that last salt wagon goes over the horizon.
Oh, well, then, if I may, I'd like to propose a toast. Here's to an early wedding. Now, I hope you forgive me for breaking this happy mood, but we are losing cattle, and when do we start loading?
Well, any minute now. Ada and I were just talking price.
Your ranches will go on, growing and prospering. But when my salt is gone, there'll be no more.
Ben, suppose that you pay the same price as you did last year, even though you're only getting 60% of the salt. Would that be asking too much?
I guess that'd be all right.
I haven't had a chance to tell Vern, but we'll have to find another way to divide the salt. You see, Mr. Talbot has a much larger herd than last year. He'll need extra salt. He's made me a very generous offer. Twice the price of last year.
Now, look, Vern.
Well, this is the first I've heard of it.
Vern doesn't own the salt, Mr. Cartwright. I do. Well, a successful man like you must have heard of the law of supply and demand.
Of course.
When you drive your cattle to market, you don't sell to the lowest bidder, do you?
Ada.
Let Mr. Cartwright answer.
You forgive me if I don't finish this drink today.
That's what I said, 1,200 head.
1,200 head. You're absolutely sure about that?
What difference does it make?
Joseph?
We had a drink with a couple of your ranch hands, Mr. Talbot. They said your herd's a lot smaller this year than it was last.
Snooping and prying, just like the Cartwrights.
Close to 800 heads smaller than last year.
Bigger or smaller, what difference does it make?
Mr. Talbot, you're using a lie to get more salt than you deserve.
That may be true. But Cartwright, sooner or later, you and I are gonna have to partner with each other. Get rid of the competition, or we're gonna be at each other's throats.
Talbot, we'll never be partners. If I have to, I'll fight you all the way.
Talbot! I hear you're trying to run the price of salt up so you can get a hog share.
To get what I want, I pay what I have to pay.
You already got Hawkins and Walters siding with you against the rest of us. Now, what did that cost? Money? Salt? Or both?
Williams, you talk too much.
You raise that price out of our reach, we're all gonna lose every head we got.
Tough, Zeb. Tough.
Talbot! I ain't gonna let that happen. It took me a lifetime to get what I got. I ain't gonna give it up without a fight.
Don't be a fool.
Hey, Williams! Get it out there quick. Take him to his room.
Pa! Pa! Pa!
Careful.
Who shot you, Pa?
Never mind that now. Let's get him up.
Who did it, Pa?
Never mind.
All right, what's going on here?
Just difference of opinion, Sheriff. It was a fair fight.
Nothing fair about it. Talbot's twice as fast as Williams.
Talbot, you shoot Williams?
Williams drew on Talbot. All Talbot did was put a bullet in Williams' shoulder.
Nobody has any objection. I'll get on with what I was doing.
Williams was only one man, Talbot. Maybe you'd like to try to walk over the rest of us.
My way, and I will.
Next man draws a gun, draws against me. Now, the rest of you people, move out of here.
Here. Let's make a deal now. It's more than twice what I offered you yesterday.
I saw you shoot Mr. Williams.
Well, he drew on me.
Why?
He thought I was going to buy more than my fair share of the salt. What's wrong?
Well, if my salt is worth shooting a man for, it's worth a lot more money than this.
Missy, that's a fair price. Don't try my patience.
Are you threatening me, Mr. Talbot?
You think what you want to think. But if I have to take that salt to get it, I will.
Would you like to repeat that in front of the sheriff?
I'm just telling you. that if you hold that salt much longer, my cattle are gonna die, and I'm not gonna let that happen.
And I'm not going to take less for my salt than I can get. And I'm not going to deal with you alone. I'm going to meet with all the cattlemen. In 1 hour, put a price on the salt.
He's not gonna get away with this, Pa. I'm not gonna let him.
You listen to me, boy. It was a fool thing I did here. I'm lucky to be alive.
He didn't have any call to draw on you.
I drew on him. I did. Didn't I, Ben?
Yes, you did.
I don't want you drawing on him. He'll kill you.
Doctor will be here in a few minutes.
You promise me, boy. You promise you won't draw on Talbot.
You listen to your pa, son. You stay right here with him until the doctor comes.
She called a meeting. Everybody's here. Where's she?
She'll be along in a minute.
I've taken all I'm gonna take.
You won't have to wait any longer, Mr. Talbot.
You set a price?
Yes, I have. $1 per head of cattle you own, for 60% of the amount you bought last year.
I've got 700 head. It'd cost me $700 for salt worth less than $50. If I had $700, and I haven't.
You can borrow it, Mr. Pardee.
Borrowed to the hilt. Shaler, you behind this?
I set the price. Mr. Shaler had nothing to do with it.
Then, ma'am, I know Hogg's got better family than you.
Now, you got 5 seconds to swallow those words.
I beg your pardon, ma'am.
Vern, would you see me back to the warehouse?
I'd be happy to.
Never figured Vern to side with her against us on the price of that salt.
Well, how many of these ranchers can afford to pay $1 a head for that salt?
You're about the only one who can afford it, all right?
I'm not the only one.
Oh, Cartwright, you gonna meet a price?
No.
Why not?
If I meet a price, and if you do, that'll establish it for every rancher here. None of them can afford it.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna refuse to buy. And if you do the same, we can force a price down.
How long will that take? I'm losing more cattle every day.
Wait a minute. Listen. Nobody wants this. But the truth is that you and I could survive if we lost every head of cattle we owned. Now, if we refuse to meet a price, if we all stick together, we can force it down.
Stick together? These cattlemen will never stick together. I know it. Sooner or later, it's every man for himself.
What's the matter?
Ada, you're asking too much of those men.
You've worn that badge for 10 years. What have you got to show for it?
I got paid.
Poorly paid. One of us has to look out for our future. There'd be no marriage if we were worrying every night whether your gun would carry us through the next day. You'll see. This'll buy us a new life.
It's too much of a price.
My darling. You have no idea how much I love you. You really knew.
Buy your beer candy, Ned?
Nah, I got a bottle.
Okay, so I see. Why don't you back off from it for a while, huh?
Don't worry about me.
I just ain't used to this waiting.
Yeah, Pa knows what he's doing. That woman's as nervous as we are. She'll break. She'll bring the price down.
We can't wait too long.
Yeah. A couple more beers, buddy.
Hey.
Ned, I guess you know my friends.
Well, if they're friends of yours, I don't want to know them. You know why you're still alive?
Well, why don't you tell me?
Because I promised my pa I wouldn't draw on you. And I keep my promises.
That's a smart thing to do.
But that don't mean that I can't tell you what I think of you. That don't mean I can't.
All right, that's enough. Put those guns away. Those men hurt. Get them up. Now, any more of this, and I'll lock you all up.
What's all this about?
Now, Ned, you got a little running with Talbot.
You men stay here. I know how to get that salt out of the warehouse, and I'm going to get it now.
Mr. Talbot, I thought you might be the first to come.
And the last, I think.
What do you mean by that?
I'm prepared to meet your price, $1 a head.
Very sensible.
And I'm going to offer you $5,000 more, provided you sell me the rest of the salt at the same price.
Would you share the salt?
No.
If the other ranchers don't get salt, their herds would be destroyed,
And stuff.
which would leave you with the only herd in the area. You'd be able to set your own price for beef and for cattle to restock the other ranches.
That's right.
And you would make a lot of money.
Money. Money I would be willing to share.
Sally? I'm here representing all the ranchers, except Mr. Talbot. I just wanted you to know that we've decided to meet your terms.
Oh. Well, I understand some of the ranchers like the money to meet the terms.
Yes, it's true. None of them has enough, but I've made arrangements, and they're now able to overcome that problem.
That's very kind of you, Mr. Cartwright. But I'm sorry.
What do you mean you're sorry?
I've just sold all the salt to Mr. Talbot.
Mr. Cartwright?
What?
Something wrong?
Yeah, there's something wrong.
You want me to get Shaler over here?
Nope.
If I yell, he'll come running.
No, don't bother him.
I was just down at the livery stable. They're hitching up Talbot's wagons to haul out that salt.
Yeah. Thanks.
I'll need a receipt.
Of course.
Either you or Shayla tell that deputy I bought the salt.
You tried to buy it.
Tried?
Yeah.
I gave her the money, and she's writing me a receipt.
Don't. Yes, I see you tried to buy it. You were outbid. You were outbid by a group of ranchers who appointed me treasurer. You were outbid by $1.
Cartwright, that salt belongs to me. Bought and paid for my beat.
Don't let me interrupt. Keep talking. I'd like to know what's going on, too.
Sheriff, this salt belongs to me. All of it.
All of it?
Vern, I had to. He met my price.
We met it, too. And outbid it by $1.
She accepted my offer first. I demand that...
Shut up! Now, I know what Cartwright would do with his. But how about Talbot? Was he going to share?
What difference does it make?
I told you to shut up, and I mean it. Well, Ada, was he?
No.
And you were going to sell it to him knowing that?
Vern, what could I do? He met my price.
Hey, you see? She admits I bought it first.
You were the last one to arrive. By the time you got here, we'd all ordered our salt. The only thing that wasn't settled was the price, and I settled that just now.
Sheriff Cartwright all but forced that check on her at gunpoint. That salt belongs to me.
Ben, I sympathize with you in principle. But if he got here with the money first, then I'm afraid the law sides with him.
Look, Bern, that salt is life to every head of cattle in this part of the state. If you deny it to them, that's mass murder. And no decent man or court could countenance that.
Here's the keys to the loading dock. Tell them and get their wagons.
I will, but I want you to divide the salt.
I will. Get out of town.
You can't do this. This salt's being stolen.
Get out of town. Don't you come back. Ben, if you'll excuse us, I've got something I'd like to talk over with Ada.
Bern. Miss Hallie, she hasn't lived in this part of the country very long. She's not used to this sort of thing. You know, there's been a lot of pressure on her.
Doesn't excuse her, Ben.
Vern. A person is allowed a mistake.
I'll be out in a minute and help you load.
Fine.
I've seen it happen so many times, you know.
I'm sorry, Vern. I guess I didn't really understand. And I did it for both of us. So we could have some security. Something to build our marriage on.
You think you know someone. You know them so well that you begin seeing things with their eyes and hearing things with their ears. And then one day you realize that you don't know them at all.
Vern, I said I'm sorry.
Talbot, now, I understand him. Greed makes his wagon go. He wants everything and then some, but I didn't dream money was the only thing that was important to you.
Vern, it's dead. It's all over now.
I kept telling myself it's all right if she gets the best price she can as long as everybody gets their share. But you were going to sell Talbot all that salt, knowing full well he wasn't going to give any to anybody.
Vern, he met the price.
What was it that Ben said? A form of mass murder that no decent man or court could countenance? Whatever we had between us, Ada, that's gone now. And I'll be leaving for good, just as soon as your salt is loaded out.
Fella in the livery stable said Talbot and Connor just left town.
I'd feel a whole lot better if I'd seen it with my own eyes.
Mr. Cartwright, I figure if they're gonna make a try, that's the place to do it. One rifle up there, and nobody's gonna load any salt.
Take a look.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for you, Ben. Can't resist a man in trouble, can you?
You hit him too hard. Nothing's gonna help him.
Stand up. Slow. Drop your gun, Bill. Over here.
Whole bunches out there.
All right, Ben.
And what'd you play? What do you expect to gain?
My property. Me and Conrad are protecting my bought and paid for property. If I have to kill 3 Cartwrights and 4 or 5 ranches to do it, I will. Ada Halley has my check. This is my soul.
When you kill the deputy, you put yourself on the other side of the law. What about the sheriff? You gonna kill him, too?
That don't bother me none. Conrad, keep a watch on that door. Now you're gonna get them to come in here, one at a time.
Oh, no.
You wanna die?
No.
Why'd you call Hoss in here first? Now.
You really want to play those odds, Talbot? You pull that trigger, sure you'll kill me. But there are 3 out there for each one of you in here.
Hey, better get in there. I see a light glitting on gun barrels.
Drop the gun. Get your hand.
Take care of this one.
Talbot!
Hold it!
Vern, look at me, please. We could still build a marriage with love. Then
Money doesn't matter, only you.
Miss Hallie. Miss Hallie? Miss Hallie, please. Please, Miss Hallie.
All I ever really wanted. Take the salt, divide it. I burned the checks, there'll be no charge. No charge at all. Call it a present from Vern.
Where? Under God's sun, can you find a spectacle more...
Coming along?
Chap.
Coming along?
Right.
Ben, we're all loaded up. How much do we owe?
Ada says no charge. A gift from Vern Shaler.
A gift? Well, that's mighty generous. I don't know what the rest of you are gonna do, but Ned and me are gonna pay our fair share.
Ben, you'll see that she gets it.
I'll see that she gets it. Thanks, fellas. Thanks.
See you, Ben.
Yeah.
There you are.
Howdy. One beer, cold and wet.
Well, it's wet most of the time. Cold, the odds are 8 to 5, the customer on the short end.
I'll take the chance.
There you are.
Yeah, thank you. I got lucky.
Give me some whiskey.
Sure, cowboy.
Hey, watch who you're bumping.
I didn't bump you, mister.
What do you mean, you bumped me? You made me spill my drink.
Look, I just told you, friend, I didn't bump you. I didn't even move.
Are you calling me a liar?
I really don't think it's worthwhile calling you anything.
What's that supposed to mean?
Anything you want it to mean. A real friendly place you got here.
Yo! You ain't ever gonna call nobody else nothing.
You really think it's worth getting a man killed for?
Yeah, you go ahead and beg me. I might listen. And then again, I might not.
Much obliged.
Well, ain't much good in a fella that interrupt a beautiful music selection.
How about a drink?
I don't know why not.
Nothing but trouble with some of them saddle tramps. Couple of drinks and they're out to gun down the world. You better watch out for that cowboy. He looked mean.
I noticed that. Another one of those wet beers. I spilled most of the last one.
Coming right up.
What do you want?
Oh, wet beer sounds unusual. I think I'll try one.
Like it too. Hey, by the way, my name's Joe Cartwright.
Oh, Tracy Blank, pleased to meet you.
All right, good.
These are on the house.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I'm just passing through here. You permanent in this part of the country?
Oh, any place I unroll my blanket is my part of the country.
Hey, you got any family?
No, I ain't got none.
Man's always got friends, huh?
Oh, sure, I got friends all over the place. I got them in 5 states and 2 territories.
Yeah, what kind of work you do?
Cowhand, mostly. I do anything. Of course, I ain't never been president of the United States. I guess that's a different kind of job. But I don't think there's much difference in being a cowhand at the Circle Y around here or a cowhand at the BJ down in Texas.
Hey, you worked at the Circle Y. I just came from there.
Cartwright. Yeah, you may be one of the reasons I quit. Yeah, they were going to have me baby that new herd you were bringing in. They're going to have me working so hard it would have interfered with my music.
Well, I'm sorry. Had I known, I never would have delivered the herd.
Oh, I was going to move on anyway. Doesn't matter.
Well, it takes a big load off my mind. That's what he can deliver a herd of cattle, but I hate to think I interfered with a guy playing the solo guitar. I mean, that's really something.
Well, it's nice to meet a true music lover.
You said you're moving out. Where you heading?
Well, I've been north, so that leaves south, east, and west. I just get on my horse and just go.
Well, listen, I'm riding southeast. Why don't you come along? There might even be a job for you at the Ponderosa.
Well, I don't know. I got a month's pay weighing me down. I don't know what I need a job for.
Look, there's nothing wrong with another month's salary. Fill that other pocket. You won't have to ride out of balance.
I don't know. Seems like such a waste carrying all that money around. And you can travel light, just drift, be free.
Well, suit yourself. Thanks again.
Yeah. Hey, look, hey, I don't know about the job, but I'll travel down there with you.
Good enough. Let's go.
You know, something's the matter with me. I was going to sit here, I was going to drink and get drunk and spend my money, have a good time, and a total stranger talks me out of it. You know what's the matter with me? Got no character. See you. Bye. How about a tune? I have a choice?
Hey, it's pretty good.
Yeah, well, you know, we finished.
What'll it be, cowboy?
My name is Fargo Taylor. I'm looking for a man.
If you don't see him here, he ain't here.
I'll ask the questions, you'll answer. If I whistle, you'll dance. If I tell you to lay down and roll over.
I lay down and roll over.
Young, got a smart mouth. About 6 feet tall.
Has he got a name?
A dozen. Brown, Baker, Apley. Uses the first name of Clint or Tracy most of the time. Plays a guitar.
A fella like that was here.
Where is he now?
Well, he rode out about 2-3 hours ago.
Where to?
Well,
where to?
He said he was heading for the Ponderosa.
Thank you.
I can't tell you how grateful we are to you, Tracy, for what you did. Anything we can do for you, you just let us know.
Well, that's a mighty handsome offer, but I can't think of anything I'm short of.
Hey, you know, I did tell Tracy we'd have a job for him here.
Well, of course, certainly.
Thanks very much. As long as I don't have to say how long I'll stay, I might take off any minute.
Well, that's fair enough. Joe, did you get the cattle delivered to the Circle Y in good shape?
You bet I did. Got them delivered, checked out, and receipt given.
Ah, good.
Yeah, Thompson's going to get that money he owes us from Wichita. He said he'd send it here.
We'll talk about that later, Joe. Those horses need looking after. Hoss, will you take care of that and show Tracy to the bunkhouse?
Yes, sir.
I'll see. Hey, I want to tell you about the money. He said he'd send it here to us.
Talk about it in the house.
What was that all about?
What do you know about Tracy?
What do I have to know?
Probably nothing, which is exactly what you do know. He saved your life and you like him.
Sure, I like him, and I trust him, don't you?
Let's say I like him. Certainly I like him for what he did for you. That doesn't mean that I mistrust him, except you don't have to start telling him about all the money that's gone to this place.
Come on, Pa. What you're saying is that he has to prove himself innocent before you decide he's not guilty.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Well, what are you saying, then?
I see a sheepdog. He wags his tail. That marks him as friendly. That doesn't mean I put my hand in his mouth until I'm absolutely certain he's not part wolf and won't bite it.
All right, let's forget it. I don't want to argue about it, Pa.
Joe, I know exactly how you feel. He saved your life and you're loyal to him. That's the way it should be. Now, what about the money?
The bank messenger from Wichita will bring it right here to the house.
Good.
I'll go clean up.
Joe? I think Tracy's going to make a good addition to the Ponderosa. I'm glad you brought him.
I'm happy and contented as I can be, 'cause I got Lori in love with me. Got no problem that I can see. Except Sally. Oh, Sally can sew and she can spark. The sparking we do lights up the dark. Should be happier than a lark. There's Marcy. Marcy can't cook and she can't plow. She really don't have to anyhow. What she does they shouldn't allow. Not often. I meet lots of fillies as I ride by. Might disremember to say goodbye. And oh, they sob. And my, I cry. Sometime till sundown.
You know, he sang that thing all the way in from town. 3 calves came up, started nuzzling up against. Thought it was their mother bawling.
I had a chance to let him get shot, and I passed it up.
Joe, you shouldn't say Tracy's singing sounds like a cow bawling. I'd say it sounds more like a sick cow.
Another music lover.
Well, listen, I'm gonna get some sleep. You go right on when you're singing, but just not too loud. I gotta sleep.
I think I'm gonna join you, Joe. Good night, gentlemen.
Night. If it was. But it's coming in from Wichita, just like I heard back there at the Circle Y.
Are you sure you're right?
You just be ready on Thursday. There'll be $10,000 waiting for us to pick up. Right down there on the Ponderosa.
Fargo men, the shotgun riders are back on the way to town.
Good.
You know, it's a funny thing. You turn a herd of cattle into money, you end up with something that takes up a lot less space, don't you? You can't get it in the bank today. You figure on leaving it in that tin box.
I'll have you understand, son, that I paid $50 for that tin box.
Oh, Paul, I got news. They saw you coming.
Well, get all those fences mended?
Yeah, we worked our way down to Tony Creek. We'll finish the rest of the south end tomorrow.
Oh, good. Yeah, you a pretty good worker?
Yeah, not bad at all.
We may hire him to mend all our fences.
You wait a minute, I'm not that good.
Howdy. Anything we can do for you?
Nobody moves, nobody gets hurt.
What is this? What do you want?
Stay out of this. It's him I want.
What?
Drop your gun belt.
I don't even know you.
Drop your gun belt or I drop you. I don't care which.
You the law?
The gun in my hand is. You get bullheaded, you make my job easier. You're wanted in Tucson, dead or alive.
I see a bounty hunter, huh?
I've had enough talk. Move out.
Tracy, you wanted in Tucson?
No, sir.
I say you are. You coming or not?
Now, look, mister, I don't know who you are, but I know I'm not wanted anyway.
There, what?
What happened? Bounty hunter rode in here and shot him.
Now, get me into the house. Yeah.
You manage all right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, work this out.
Wish I could have gone with Joe and Tracy.
Yeah. What would I have done without your tender care?
What are we stopping for?
It's not gonna be able to catch up to him before dark.
Well, light or dark, what's the difference?
You can't follow tracks in the dark.
Well, if you can't follow tracks in the dark, why don't we camp here and start in the morning, huh? Don't you want to get this guy?
That's a stupid thing to say, isn't it? He shot my father. He's not gonna get away. We'll go back to the ranch, get an early start in the morning. I want to see how my pa's getting along.
Look, now, why don't you go back alone, huh?
No.
Why? You afraid I might take off? You think that bounty hunter might be telling the truth about me, huh?
I think a lot of other people might see it that way.
Look, I'm no outlaw.
If I thought you were, would I ride out here alone with you? Sure as heck wouldn't turn my back on you.
Wait. Let's see how your pa's getting along.
Thanks.
It's Joe and Tracy. Alone.
I'm glad they're back.
You all right, Pa? How you feel?
Oh, fine.
Bounty hunter got away, huh?
Not for long, though. I ain't gonna let him get away. I mean, nobody's gonna be allowed to get away with that. They shoot you? Huh? Call me a wanted man, hit me in the face? Huh? He's gonna pay for that, you'll see.
We'll be on his trail in the morning. We'll stay on it.
I'm going with you this time.
No.
Oh, Pa.
I'm not saying no to you, Orson. Say no to anybody who go after that man without the proper authority. Tracy. Yeah, there's something I want to clear up my mind. Now, you say you're not a wanted man.
You say I swear I'm not.
Well, see, that bounty hunter, he had a good long look at you. He recognized you, seemed to. He knew you. How do you account for that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how I account for it, sir. I only know I'm not wanted. I'm not wanted in Tucson. I'm not wanted anywhere. And I don't know what I can do to make you believe that.
Hoss, you ride into Virginia City. Tell Sheriff Coffey what happened out here. And have him send a telegraph to Tucson. You know, so we can clear everything up and put your mind at ease.
Well, I hope you do that.
And, Tracy, nobody is going after that bounty hunter unless he does it legally with a properly authorized posse.
Well, he's one deputy they're not going to have to coax.
Make that 2.
3.
Well, look who's here.
Who's you expecting?
Well, I wasn't expecting nobody, but I'm glad you come. What's on your mind? What brought you to town?
Well, Roy, Paul got shot in the leg.
You hurt bad?
No, nothing serious. He's going to be all right.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, I will. That coffee sure does smell good.
Yeah. Well, help yourself. You know where it is.
Well, anyhow, it all started over in Smithville. This drunk was going to shoot little Joe, and then this fella named Tracy decides he'll deal himself a hand.
Ah, cut it out.
Well, what's the matter now?
Well, you wouldn't bet $5,000 if we were playing with real money, would you?
Well, how do I know? I never had $5,000 in my life.
All right, well, let's just make believe we're playing with real money. If I bet $1, the best you'd do is you'd see me and you'd raise me $1, right?
All right, $1,000. How's that? That better?
Oh, that's great. You know, I've just been thinking. You know, I've heard it said that there's somebody who looks exactly like somebody else somewhere in the world. An exact double, you know?
What was that supposed to mean?
Well, I was just thinking, I was trying to figure out why that bounty hunter was so positive that you were the man he wanted.
Like you said, there must be somebody that looks exactly like me somewhere.
Well, I'll tell you, my friend, if he bets exactly like you do, I can see why he's wanted by the law. So I have 4 queens. All right, it's your deal, Moneybags. Hey, and make it honest.
I try.
How about another cup of coffee?
No, thank you, Roy. 2's plenty.
Well, I'll get that telegraph off tonight to Tucson, and I'll go after that bounty hunter tomorrow.
Good. Roy, how about putting me up for the night?
Well, surest thing you know.
That cell 1 in there's got the best mattress of the bunch.
Well, yeah, but there's a man in there. But that cell 2 ain't bad. The mattress is a little lumpy, but you'll squish him out.
I'm doing the best I can, Bob.
Well, just trying a little harder, that's all.
Yes, sir. I still think it would have been a lot better if you'd have just stayed in bed.
I'm not the kind of man that can stay in bed. You ought to know that.
I think I know that better than anybody. Let me put your leg up here.
Easy.
Yeah. Get your pillow, make it a little softer.
Joseph, you're absolutely certain that you never saw that fellow who shot me before?
Well, I already told you I've never seen him before in my life.
Well, I know dang well I never saw him before.
Now, how about some nice hot coffee, huh?
Why did he shoot me?
Well, he shot you because he wanted to take Tracy and you wouldn't let him.
I wasn't wearing a gun. And yet he shoots me. Shoots me in the leg. Why in the leg?
Well, I don't know why in the leg. I'm glad he didn't shoot you in the heart. He probably just didn't want to kill you, that's all.
And then he runs away. Without taking Tracy with him.
Yeah, well, look, he saw Tracy and I go for the guns and he panicked.
Well, he didn't impress me as being the kind of fellow who'd panic in any situation.
Hey, Pa, look, why don't you relax, read a good book? Hey, must be Hoss. It's about time. Where you been all night?
Well, we had to wait for an answer about telegraph Tucson.
Yeah, what'd it say?
Looks like this man Tracy is not wanted.
I'll tell him the news.
Ben?
All right. Forgive me for not getting up.
I'm glad to see you sitting up.
Hey, Tracy, you up there? Yeah.
like to be going with her.
What'd you say?
Oh, I said I'd sure like to be going with her.
Where we turn back, Roy?
Them tracks are as clear as a logging road.
Yeah, maybe too clear. Now, why would a smart operator like Fargo leave a trail anybody could follow?
Well, you and Tracy are both after him. Maybe he's in too big a hurry to stop and clear it.
It could be. He's a manhunter. He knows about trailing, hiding his tracks.
I don't think we're going to find the answer to that here. Let's go.
I don't care if you are my brother. You'd get yourself killed sneaking up on me like that.
I didn't sneak. You just stoned here good. You got the nitro.
I got enough in here to blow 3 safes.
We may not need it. Who's left in the house?
Old man Cartwright's in there with that hole in his leg and Tracy.
The others?
Well, the hands rode out early this morning. Oh, the sheriff came by and took everybody else out chasing you, just like you figured they would.
Did you check the buildings to make sure nobody hung back?
Yeah, there's nobody here. Ain't nobody gonna bother us unless that posse turns around.
Check the buildings. I'll cover you.
There's nobody...
Make sure, like I made sure, that posse has its hands full. Go on.
Anything bothering you, Mr. Cartwright? Anything I can get you?
Nothing I can think of.
Joe, in case you were afraid he was going to make it too easy for us to follow him, take a look around. It's going to take a lot of doing finding any tracks in this hard ground.
I just don't understand why he took the long way around to get here.
Well, if he's going to try to cross Devil's Furnace, he'd have to stop and get water, wouldn't he?
Yeah, more than likely at Quayle.
That still doesn't make sense. He could have gotten into hard rock country 5 miles back, but he didn't.
Well, maybe he just didn't want to go that way.
Well, boys, we're going to split up and spread out. Now, Hoss, you head for Quayle. Little Joe for the dry riverbed. Timmy, you go up that wash as far as you can, and David ride due north. Now, I'll follow along the ridge here, and the first man that sees the sign, fire 2 shots. Is that clear?
Right.
Well, let's go.
You sure something's not bothering you, Mr. Cartwright? You sure?
I was, just trying to figure out what 2 and 2 add up to.
Well, you should ask me. The answer's 4.
I was trying to figure. Why would an experienced bounty hunter mistake you for a man wanted in Tucson?
Well, like you said, he mistook me for somebody else.
I know I said that. But that time I didn't have some pertinent information. Like nobody answering to your description is wanted in Tucson. Now, a man can be mistaken for somebody. Can't be mistaken for nobody.
Hey, what are you driving at, Mr. Cartwright?
You know, there is something you can do for me. Get me a cup of coffee. There's some hot in the kitchen.
I don't think I should leave you here alone, you know, because if you move, your leg might start to bleed again.
Oh, I wasn't intending to move. Oh, there's one other thing I'd like you to do for me, if you would. Clean this gun for me, please. Needs cleaning bad.
Sure, Mr. Cartwright. One clean gun, one cup of coffee coming up. Yes, sir. One cup of coffee, one clean gun coming up from Mr. Cartwright.
Something in there you want? Put it down and get over in that chair and sit down. Go on, move! Sit down! I'll just take care of this.
Who are you?
Oh, you know about me. Well, I get drunk, and then I get mean. Oh, I get mean. I came about that close to killing your son. It's lucky for him, old Tracy stopped me.
Just as you planned.
Well, see, that's just the first part of it.
Mr. Cartwright? It's $10,000 in that safe, Mr. Cartwright. We're gonna take it.
Oh, yeah.
So if you'll just tell us the combination, everything will be okay.
Disappointed in you, Tracy. I sure thought you knew me better than that.
Well, you're a rich man. Would you let yourself get killed for that kind of money?
Rich man or poor man, that's not the point.
Principal and 2 bits will buy you a glass of whiskey at the nearest saloon. Did you get the combination?
Not yet.
Stay stubborn and you get killed.
And what's to prevent you from killing me if you get the combination?
Nothing. But you got a chance, I won't. Maybe you got some idea help will come. No chance. Been worked out too careful. That one bullet I put in your leg took care of all the Cartwrights and the sheriff. You here where we need you? Them out chasing a trail that goes far and ends nowhere.
When you leave here, there'll be another trail. And no matter what happens to me, it'll be followed. And you'll be at the end of it.
Mr. Cartwright, Frog will kill you if you don't tell him. And I know him and he'll kill you.
If I have to kill you, it'll cost me no sleep. It'll be better for me if I let you live. That way, when they come after me, and they will come, there'll be less hate eating at their insides, driving them. When the trail gets hard, it'll be easier for them to turn back.
Fargo Taylor, bounty hunter, killer, philosopher. But if I live, I'll come after you.
I'm giving you a choice. You hand me that money, or you'll never live to spend it. Think on that, Mr. Cartwright. Think on it. But think fast.
Hey!
Roy?
signs?
Not a thing.
You? Not a thing. I finally run across some soft ground, but no tracks. He didn't head for the Quayleys.
Nor this way.
Hadn't heard any gunshots, so apparently the others hadn't run across his trail either. Right now, it don't look like we are.
Well, we always take that chance. I've been outsmarted before, and no doubt it'll happen again. Why don't we go back to the place where the trail ended there? Maybe we missed a sign, or maybe he even backtracked a ways.
What about Joe and the rest of the posse?
Well, if they find anything, we'll hear their shots. If they don't, they only got one way to go, and that's back.
All right, let's go.
Hey, Tracy, you got an itch that keeps you moving like that?
Mr. Cartwright, Fargo, he's telling the truth when he says he ain't bluffing.
Fargo, I'm gonna stay alive. Whether I give you the combination or not. If it's to your advantage. And if it isn't, you're gonna shoot me no matter what I tell you, so you get nothing from me.
All right, blow the safe.
Hey, instead of shooting him, why don't we just tie him up next to the safe? That way he'll have the same amount of time to change his mind about talking as it takes for that fuse to burn up.
Get in the other room, out of the way.
You're proud of what you've done.
Fargo, there ain't no money in here.
It's got to be here someplace. Where is it? You're gonna wish you were dead, Cartwright. And you'll get your wish slow. You'll talk or you'll scream. If I have to, I'll carve that money out of your hide $1 at a time.
Where is it?
It's in my bedroom. I'll show you where it is.
You stay. He'll get it. Just tell him where.
It's in my bureau. Secret compartment there. Better show him where it is.
If it's there, he'll find it. He's got a nose for money.
There ain't no compartment in here. Fargo! You hear me, Fargo?
Yeah, I hear you. Keep looking. Still playing games, huh, Cartwright? Where's that money?
Mr. Cartwright, you tell him where the money is. It ain't worth dying for.
If he had the money now, he'd be dead now.
I've had enough talk.
Wait a minute. Look, I'll make a deal with you. If he tells you where the money is, I'll give you my share of it, okay? Only promise me you won't kill him.
I don't kill him, I get your share.
That's right.
You got yourself a deal, boy.
Good. Yeah, Mr. Cartwright. You just tell him where the money is. Oh, please. I've done all I can.
All right, Tracy. You get the money. It's in that wooden box on the table. Go get it.
What about it?
It's all here.
Let's see.
Let's get out of here.
Wait a minute. We're not finished yet.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean, don't you, Cartwright?
Wait a minute, Fargo. You promised.
You gotta learn, boy. You never trust a thief. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Like you said, never trust a thief. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Cartwright. I never had no family. No blood tie. Oh, I was really getting to like y'all.
How's the leg feel today?
Oh, much better. Ought to be good and new in a week.
Hey, I stopped by Sheriff Coffey's office. Told me that Fargo's gonna be all right. He'll live to stand trial.
Good. There'll be one trial I'll be very happy to testify at. That's too bad about Tracy. That boy had a lot of good in him. He just needed someone to help him find himself. It's a shame it happened too late.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I was wondering. I never did ask you, where did you hide the money?
Oh. I didn't.
What do you mean you didn't?
Well, Hop Singh was going into Carson City, so I had him take it along and put it in the bank.
Well, look, I don't get it. If you knew the money wasn't here, why didn't you just tell Fargo that?
Well, if I told him, he probably wouldn't have believed me, and if he did believe me, he probably would have killed me anyway. I felt the only chance I had was to make him believe that the money was somewhere in the house and stall for time.
Yeah, well, I must say you stalled pretty good. We couldn't have come much closer.
No, it couldn't have. And I want to thank you very much for not following Roy's orders to stay with the posse.
Well, it's like you've always said, Pa. I'm not very good at following orders.
Yes, I believe I've said that a number of times.
How about some coffee, huh?
Yes, sir. Oh, Joe. Joe, I'd like you to do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Forget what I ever said about following orders. I think I like you just the way you are.
I'll get the coffee.